When she heard her daughter was getting married, the mother jumped off a cliff in tears. She was terrified her little princess would get hurt by love and she needed to find her fast. That princess was truly a handful. She'd managed to fall into a river just catching a hat, and when a naive, sweet guy got down on one knee to propose, she'd happily said yes. Maleficent, who'd once been hurt by a man, tracked down the little troublemaker quickly, letting her anger and disapproval show. But when she saw the innocent, hopeful look in her daughter's eyes, her heart softened. She ended up ing the princess to chase her own happiness. But the princess pushed her luck, even asking Maleficent to meet the boy's parents. For all her hatred of humans, Maleficent caved again. She even practiced smiling at her reflection in the river. She'd been bright and carefree once, but hadn't smiled since the man she loved cut off her wings. The princess brought a scarf, telling Maleficent to hide her horns. She was afraid her mom would embarrass her. Proud as she was, Maleficent was the feared queen of the forest. But motherly love had humbled her this much. To protect the princess's happiness, she set aside her hatred for humans and stepped into the human world once more. In the palace ballroom, the king and queen had been waiting for ages. On the surface, this was a first meeting between the two families over dinner, but behind the scenes, it was a trap the queen had carefully laid. Everyone knew Maleficent couldn't touch iron, yet the queen not only served bird meat with bones, a subtle nod to her wings, but also deliberately placed iron cutlery in front of her. It wasn't until the princess whispered an explanation to the queen that the queen feigned ignorance and had the servants take the utensils away. Maleficent let it slide, but the queen wouldn't let up. She kept making snide remarks and pushing Maleficent's buttons. That's when Maleficent realized she was the queen's real target. Suddenly, the queen's cat lunged at her. Maleficent froze at mid-air, and the room tensed up, ready to explode. Only after the princess begged her to calm down did Maleficent hold back her rage. When her first trick to provoke Maleficent failed, the queen played her next dirty card. She knew Maleficent loved the princess more than anything, so she announced in front of everyone that the princess would be her daughter from then on. That crossed a line for Maleficent. She couldn't hold back her anger anymore, and her powerful magic surged through the entire ballroom. The queen cowered behind the king, putting on a scared act, but just then, the king suddenly looked unwell. In the blink of an eye, he collapsed for no apparent reason. The queen screamed. Maleficent cursed the king. The princess, standing nearby, looked at Maleficent with pure disappointment. She'd started to doubt the godmother who'd raised her. Maleficent tried to take the princess away from the chaos, but the princess sided with the queen, demanding she lift the curse. Realizing the child she'd raised with her own hands was ungrateful, Maleficent stormed out of the palace, heading back to the moors. What she didn't know was that the royal advisor, lying in wait on the castle walls, had aimed at her. An iron bullet hit her dead on. Maleficent plummeted from the sky straight into the icy sea. The advisor on the wall thought she was surely dead, but then a dark figure suddenly fell from the sky and dove into the water. A creature that looked exactly like Maleficent lifted her from the ocean floor, then shot back up above the waves and vanished into the dark clouds.